and gentlemen, welcome. Grab yourself some cow tongue soup, because these whippings are about to be hippin'. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to another glorious week here on the Speaker's Corner. I am one of your many hosts here on the Speaker's Corner. My name is Jeff Wheeler, and I am currently under the shadowed glow of the Gold Dome down here in beautiful and illustrious Atlanta, Georgia. Currently, I look out my window for the Gold Dome, cannot actually see it. It is too low on the cloud ceiling. But in any case, we will bring you a shining, shimmering light of our ideas and our concepts. Let me introduce to you the hosts and the guests and the individuals who will bring you these glorious thoughts, starting from all the way on my left, under the same state flag, but not the same shadow of the Gold Dome. Frank Heathington, welcome back, Frank.
A shining city on a hill, Jeff.
That's right.
Good morning, Jeffrey.
Good morning. Wonderful to see you this morning. It was good to hear from you this morning at 10 a.m. when we were getting the pre-show started.
I know.
And I know we all look forward to having Frank days, and we've got a Frank day.
I know. Like I was saying last week, I was on loan to the Colbert Show, so I'm glad to be back.
It is excellent to see you back. You were a writer for them, and now you're back with us.
Yes.
And let me bring to you our most academic member of the group, Thom. You have more degrees than anyone else here.
Just like he says, yeah, it's just a matter of academic. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, fellow panelist. Ready to rock it from the frigid, frozen tundra of Woodside.
Oh, is it a frozen
Queens,
tundra still?
New York. It's an ice monster out here.
Maybe I should move that weather topic up a little bit. I'm going to move that up, and let's talk about the weather for just 12 seconds here.
You just set a storm into brewing, just to mention to you, because there is another member of this show who is running the boards behind the scenes and also has a master's degree. So that would of course be Michelle, aka Ziggy. So the two of us are both in the front scenes and behind the scenes, dropping our knowledge and educating these two chumps you see. I mean, two fellow panelists you see.
You know, you say chumps, and I just really think of chunk, is what I'm thinking here. So,
Baby Ruth.
That's right. That's me.
Okay.
So speaking on that, there has been quite a bit of coldness up in your neck of the woods, Thom. Has it not been the coldest month that you guys have dealt with? There was like 3 blizzards in Boston over the last 2 weeks or something ridiculous.
Boston. I'm like, just give up. I think we should just burn that place down because it's uninhabitable at present. Which is funny. I've got a friend who has to go up there next week for a conference, and I'm like, pack a sled dog and snowshoes, man. It's disgusting. That's pretty gross. And right now, it's that stage where it's been on the ground for so long that it's black ice, not because it's the more traditional black ice. It's just so covered with soot and exhaust that it's black snowdrifts. Yeah.
So and then in the snowdrifts, they're probably so high that you're getting glaciers forming. That you're getting packed snow into ice glaciers. Because it's been up there so long.
There's ice walls, forming along the sidewalks. There's cars I've seen that, you have not moved in a couple weeks, and you have no choice but to live or keep your car where it is because you need a chisel to
get it
hack out the ice now.
Yep. Or you wait for it to melt. Those are your only 2 options.
Precisely.
Wait for spring.
Which today it's going to apparently get up to 40 degrees, so hopefully there'll be
Wow. Well, that's good.
Some runoff.
I'm going to speak to one of my temperature woes. So this past week I went to Kansas, which is typically a very cold place in the winter.
Mm-hmm. Kansas.
Home of Carry On My Wayward Son and other various
And
curious.
Kathleen Sebelius.
Okay. But I was out there, and I was working outside, and I'm like, oh, God, I got to plan all this stuff for it being February, and I'm going to be out in Kansas and have to climb 150 feet up in the air. Ugh. But little did I know, this week was the warmest that they have had in quite a while. It was 72 degrees during the day.
No shit.
Boy.
72 degrees. Friday, I got on the plane in Garden City, Kansas, western Kansas. Nobody really knows about it. Central western Kansas. And it was 55 degrees at 7 a.m., right? And then I got back to Atlanta, which I think of as hot Atlanta. It's a warm place, very southern, et cetera, et cetera. And it was much colder, like 35 or something. I walked off the plane. It was very noticeably colder. And it was like, man, I did not expect for it to be colder when I got back to Atlanta than it was when I was out in Kansas. So there's my temperature woes.
And woe is you.
Woe is me.
And woe to all of you who are viewers in Boston or in Maine, or even the viewers who are having to wear short shorts in Kansas. We feel for you all in the plights that you suffer from. Yeah. Hey, you know what today is, by the way? Just 'cause we always like to mark.
Today is Sunday, 2/2/2/15.
2/2/2/15. Oh, by the way, make sure to buy your pie shirts because it's going to be 3.1415 next month. So get your pie shirts.
Get your pie shirts. Although,
Yeah.
you know, the new hipster thing is not pi, but theta. I think it's theta.
What?
2 pi is theta.
Isn't that a black fraternity?
I'm sure there is also a black fraternity that they reference as theta.
That was
2
lambda,
pi.
lambda.
Is it? Oh yeah, lambda, 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 or
Try lambs.
delta, delta, delta. Can I help you? Help you? Help you?
Delta House?
Delta House.
All right, as he's typing up that stuff, I'm going to correct. It's actually George Washington's birthday today.
Oh,
Happy birthday, George Washington. Don't Google it, because apparently Google will tell you that Google thinks his birthday was on the 16th. We just discovered earlier, Michelle and I, that Google is broken right now and is doing whatever it wants. So I'm here to correct Google and tell you it's the 22nd today. Happy birthday, George Washington, founding father and rabid slave hunter.
rabid slave hunter.
Look it
Was
up.
He but he only rabidly hunted one slave, right?
Because he kept the other ones locked up. I mean,
300, yeah.
yeah. It's
But it
always
was
the one
what's
that got
done,
away.
right? But it was what's done in the day.
Yeah, but it's also what's ignored in the present.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Tall.
So, but anyway,
it's
happy
not
birthday.
theta. It's tall. Sorry.
Taw.
Tall.
Is what the hipsters are doing.
Yes. Mathematicians want to say goodbye to pi and hello to tall. 6.28,
Interesting.
which is the direct relation between a circle's circumference and its diameter.
When you say this is what the hipsters are doing, I don't understand this. What do you mean?
But like, there's this, nouveau geek generation where people are no longer are trying to be the next new thing, and the 3.14 stuff they're saying is no longer as important as the tau because it's the direct.
What about
relation.
mole day? Is mole day still cool?
6.23.
Yeah, is it still cool, mole day?
I don't know. Maybe mold. I think mole day is only cool in your chemistry classes.
I think mole is very good to eat.
Mole is, yes.
Because as everyone knows, mole day is October 30, October 10th, or no, what is it?
No.
It's October 23rd, because it's 10 to the 23rd.
Booyah.
6.0. What is a mole?
6.02 times 10 to the 23rd power.
Right.
How much stuff?
So
how
why
many
do they do
molecules are
10?
in...
Why do they do 1023 as mole day?
I don't know, because that's what they do. I'm not here to I'm here to tell you when George Washington's birthday is and mole
because
day.
then you can do it at 6:02 in the morning on 1023.
10:23.
Got it. Now I'm following. I'm getting there.
Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Okay, so apparently next we're going to be talking about Jimmy J.J. Walker.
No. So I was watching CNBC this past week because I was outside of my home and I get CNBC on the road in the hotel rooms. And CNBC is starting their political coverage by beginning the interviewing or the allowing of potential presidential candidates to come up on their morning show, Squawk Box.
Squawk Box.
And I am a huge fan of Squawk Box. I really like the way that they have both intelligence and silliness happen all at the same time, right?
So the 2016 campaign season has begun.
Right. And there was a comment that came up on the show that says the leading candidate is Jeb Bush, right? And Jeb has the doesn't he still have the initial
Stigma?
Well, yeah, he has the stigma. But there was a comment by one of the commenters that said, or actually, there was Scott Walker was on the show, and Scott Walker on the show, he was being interviewed, and they said, well, what do you think about a ticket that says Bush Walker, where the former president said he was George Walker Bush? And he goes, well, what's the matter with Walker Bush? Implying, well, why can't I be the first-run presidential candidate and Bush be my backseat driver? So that was just my thought. I just heard that, and I was like, he basically said he wanted to run for president and not vice president by stating a
yeah, no one ever wants to, like, out the gate. That's a really bad question to kind of ask on air of, like, so even though your campaign really hasn't begun, how would you feel about stepping into the second seat? No one's going to be like, oh, yeah, I'd be cool with that, too. That's loser talk. Loser talk is, oh, yeah, I totally support, if I didn't win, I'd support it. And it's like, no. What is it? That winners go home and the prom queen. So he was exercising his Sean Connery in The Rock and saying, no, it's going to be Walker Bush. Walker Bush, Texas Ranger.
Yeah.
Sounds good. That's funny, though, that it would be Walker Bush, as in...
Exactly. George supports Walker Bush. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Wow. Funny.
All right, so speaking of funny, there are some important things that are coming up. Is that tonight?
Yeah, speaking of campaigns, another campaign, which feels like it drags on for a year, not as long as the U.S. campaign is. It's the Academy Awards tonight. As they always hold it on George Washington's birthday. No. So it's
what's the story behind the Oscar again? The statue?
Well, there is many stories behind the Oscar, but somebody in the Academy basically named the statue after their second cousin or something.
And you know what? I remember that show that we had 2 years ago, and we talked about polyglots or whatever, because you can be an Oscar winner, you can be a Tony Award winner. EGOTs, right.
Emmy, Golden Globe, Oscar, Tony. And there's a whole list. Most of them are musicians,
but
composers.
That's in our archive.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
The best of.
So
what's Best Picture tonight?
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about. So years ago, or only a handful of years ago, they expanded the Academy Awards. Because Academy Awards used to have a lot of potential Best Picture nominees, but then they shrunk it down to 5. Now they've opened it up to as many as 10. They don't have 10 this year. They have 8 films that passed the bar. All of which, with the exception of one film,
Dallas Buyers Club.
That's not nominated this year.
Yeah, no, because it wasn't made this year.
Basically, the key to getting nominated, all films basically feature a white male protagonist going through some kind of crisis in their life.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
So that's why I was like, it's good. Yet again, it's good to be a white man when it comes to award seasons.
50 Shades of Grey.
Not nominated.
As it shouldn't be.
It was released this year, so you have to have been released in the year 2014.
Oh.
The Best Picture nominees run from everything from the 2 films in the front running currently are Boyhood by Linklater. And not Art Linklater. Richard.
American Sniper.
Birdman, which I just saw last night.
The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance.
Yeah, which makes it the second. That is do you know what the movie with the longest film title ever to be nominated for an Academy Award for Best Picture?
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Nope. longer. That wasn't nominated for Best Picture.
No idea. 18 Years a Slave.
Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
Wow.
I did not know Kubrick got
Longest.
nominated for that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
The Imitation Game. Behind every code is an enigma.
Alan Turing.
And Selma, why is that not about a white... Why is that... It says Selma was nominated.
I said that's the lone. There's one film that doesn't
gotcha.
feature a white
it.
male protagonist.
Got it.
So definitely sucks to be a woman.
Yep.
Uh,
The theory of everything.
so I'm. This
All you
might be
can
one of
be
the-
is a swooning side player in an Oscar film this year, as a woman.
apparently. So I don't know if I'm going to watch it this year. I might watch the opening because I love Neil Patrick Harris. He's hosting it.
Oh God. I do enjoy him. Yes.
So I might watch NPH do the opening sequence, and then I think I might, I don't know, watch Downton Abbey or something, because it's 3.5. I did my 3.5 hours of pageantry last week and self-love. I did my 3.5 hours of pageantry and self-love last week with the SNL 40.
Oh,
How
I thought you
was
were
it?
talking about the Westminster Dog Show, dude.
I don't watch dog shows. I only watch the American Kennel Club on Thanksgiving Day. 'Cause
How
it comes
was
on
the
before
40th?
football. I was great. Enjoyable.
Good.
I highly recommend watching it on the Hulu and fast-forwarding through the boring parts,
Got it.
which there are a lot of.
Can I go out of sequence?
Of course. That's
Because
what we do.
I'm going to tell you what I've been watching.
Okay. What's on Frank's DVR?
The 2015 Cricket World Cup.
Right. Okay. Well, what's going on there?
Apparently right now, England is playing Zimbabwe, but that's tomorrow.
And
But
South
I-
Africa played yesterday, right?
And yes, and I wanted to segue this into the random country of the day.
Ooh, okay.
South Africa.
But then you got to tell me what countries. Can you name 8 countries? All right, so there's a bucket of 15 of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Name me 8 countries that are in the Cricket World Cup 2015.
India, Pakistan, New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, Great Britain.
Sri Lanka.
Sri
Zimbabwe.
Lanka is not in there.
Is there just a general West Indies team?
Yes, there is a West Indies team.
Is it just West Indies or is it
It's
like
just
a country?
West Indies.
West Indies.
UAE.
Well, you said Zimbabwe, so that's 8.
UAE is in there.
Oh.
Sri Lanka's in there.
Sri Lanka is in there. Yes, sorry.
England.
Yeah, you pretty much nailed all of them.
Well, it's because I opened up the website.
Except
Oh,
for
That's-
except for Bangladesh.
I mean, the default is, where did England have colonies?
Where did England
Okay.
have powerful colonies for long periods of time?
Right.
Yes.
And then roll with that. And
Although Afghanistan is in there.
Yeah.
okay, where did England have colonies or long wars in the 19th century?
Yeah.
Pretty much right. Have you guys ever actually watched a cricket match?
And I have, but I'm totally confused. I don't understand what.
Yeah, I do. Every year we talk about cricket, and I never have understood it.
It's interesting to be cleaning your house while having it in the background.
Why? Because an 18-hour cricket match is how long it takes to clean your house?
Pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. Yeah, I don't really understand what goes on either, but it's kind of entertaining, I guess. I just like the pageantry involved. I think it's like excited version of baseball, but
Yeah,
That's
I don't
less
know what
action.
you're talking about.
You're reminding me of, you know what Kate's favorite part of the football game is? And Kate loves football, but her favorite part is when they run out in the field with the really big flags. She's just like, oh, it's my favorite part. It looks so majestic. And I'm always like, aw. You're adorbs.
Wow.
You are so
Oh, bless
adorbs.
your heart.
And then they start ruffling the flag, and it goes and starts looking like it's waving.
No, not that. No, not the big stretched flag. I'm talking
okay.
the cheerleaders running out
Oh,
with a huge
okay.
flag, maybe
Yeah,
one
with
for
the
each
big
letter.
piece of PVC pipe underneath the flag
Exactly.
to hold it up. Yeah.
That's what she loves. No one likes the huge flag stretched across the field and billowing. That's getting old. It's only cool when someone accidentally trips and gets stuck under the flag. That's awesome.
So we were speaking of former British colonies, and I found a website, segue from former British colony,
Nicely done.
India, and Pakistan. But this makes a this website's called Indochino, Indochino. If anyone would like to peruse to that website that has not heard of it, feel free to do so. So this is a website that
I'm not going to get on a blacklist for going here, am I?
No.
Indochino.
So Indochino is a custom maker of men's suits. They will make for you a custom tailored suit for like $300, right? Very reasonable cost, and you can have it in any cut, in any breast, in any lapel size, as you see fit. Exactly custom fit to you. So they basically show you how to make your measurements so as to make a good suit, and then they send it out to you. Kind of the same concept that Zenny does for glasses.
Or E-Shakti for dresses. Yeah, same thing. I get it.
Who? Shakti for dresses?
E-Shakti. It's a women's site where you can get your measurements.
Should I write this down and go to it?
No, but I'm just saying it's a concept of using the labor.
How do you spell E-Shakti? What is that?
I don't know. But anyway, like it's
Eshakti.
It's the concept of, they go to, you have a lag time, right? So you get the measurements done for your suit. It's put together somewhere in India, and then you have the lag time of it coming back. So the trade-off is I'm not going to go spend $607 in the States, and I can wait for them to give me back my suit. Now then you have the risk of it not fitting as well as you think because you don't actually have an on-site tailor, but you're paying considerably less, probably 70 to 75% less than you would in the States.
That's right. So I picked this up from a friend of mine who was a former guest on the podcast, and he described this to me, and I had heard previously about men that take business trips to Taiwan, to Thailand and a few other places, and will get a custom tailored suit made over there because they can go into a tailor, have that, and when they're on a business trip, just make a flyover stop for 2 hours, go into the tailor, have them measure them, and then while they're at their business thing for a week, then they stop back by on the way back and pick up a brand new, perfectly tailored suit.
Right.
Which is brilliant.
Wow, this is fascinating.
Thought that was quite the place and a find from the internet that I felt like I should share with both my co-hosts and everyone else that seems to watch.
But Jeff, you still look better than Tom Ford in a suit.
I don't know who Tom Ford is.
He's Rob Ford, the governor or the mayor of Toronto's brother.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do.
No. Although I was making the joke that two things I want to say. Wouldn't it be an awesome CBS is redoing The Odd Couple with Matthew Perry and Thomas Lennon, from Reno 911.
Okay.
I thought, wouldn't it be better to do kind of The Odd Couple reality show version where you had Rob Ford, the crack-smoking mayor of Toronto, and Tom Ford, the fashion designer, living together. I would watch
under the same roof
of that.
Yeah.
Ziggy just wanted to point out that also, buying our eyeglasses through Zenny or suits through Indochino, or this more directly, like flying to Thailand to get your suit, bespoke suit done on the cheap.
Right.
It's not too far from the medical tourism, be it going to Eastern Europe for dental work or Brazil for plastic surgery.
Yep.
The Western world is.
Can you get the suits done in Bitcoin?
I don't know, but I would imagine you could. I would imagine. Do you have a lot of Bitcoin that you're trying to burn up, Frank?
I have 3.
No, you don't have 3 Bitcoins.
The end.
All right, what else we got going on here?
All right, let's look at the next one, which is things that pissed Tom off. What in the world could possibly have pissed Tom off this week?
There's things that piss me off that shouldn't piss me off, and I believe I've mentioned this before, and it's related to award season again, and it's Best Picture nominations and the Academy's relationship with not just comedies, but more importantly, animated films. I hate the fact that several years ago they broke off the animated films and gave them their own category, which basically is a way of preventing. You will never see probably an animated film. Definitely won't see it win for Best Picture. You may not see one make Best Picture nominee, because I feel like the decision now is like, well, you guys have your own category. That's cute. Go do that. No, it's really. I mean, the last movie to get nominated for Best Picture that was an animated film was Beauty and the Beast.
Right.
And then subsequently they created an animated category, and never again. But what also really gets my goat is comedies. The kind of dismissal that comedies get. You know, what was the last true comedy to win Best Picture?
Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Close.
12 Years a Slave.
That is awful. That is even beneath you, my friend.
I have no idea. I don't.
Early 80s.
Ghostbusters.
Earlier than that, Tootsie.
Tootsie.
Tootsie
What?
won. What? Tootsie won for Best Picture.
Wow.
Yeah, 1981, I want to say, was the year.
They have such a formula for these freaking movies to win the Best Picture.
Well, that sadly it sometimes does feel to be the case, and one of the things. But I just hate that if your film is not seriously touching or dealing with serious matter, it can't be taken seriously. And if this is supposed to celebrate film as an art and excellence in the artistry of filmmaking,
it should be expansive, and there should be other things that are able to get recognition.
I think part of the reason the year before they expanded the Academy Awards to re-expanded it back to like possibly 10 films. One of the films the prior year that people thought maybe could be a dark horse to get nominated was The Dark Knight. Because the thought was this was an excellent action film with great acting and seemed pretty solid writing, and it's exemplary of that genre.
Right.
It didn't get nominated, but the following year they expanded it, and they said in an expanded format it probably would have gotten nominated. And I think there should be, not to say that action films are necessarily the greatest, no, but we should reward and recognize when a film in a genre that gets tired does something excellent. And it's like that was what you did there was excellent. Be it in sci-fi, be it in comedy, be it in an action film.
Yeah.
We should.
Gardens of the Galaxy.
The Academy Award needs to recognize excellence in that area, because then it encourages filmmakers to be like, you know what, this was great, and it was a big box office winner, and also the critics were like, this, you're doing this right. So I'd like to see the Academy Award do that.
I am Groot.
So that's just the thing that pisses me off. That shouldn't piss me off.
Right, and so Ziggy just shared with me, or with all of us, this thing on what does not get nominations. They said science fiction films don't win Best Picture award. Things like Clockwork Orange, Star Wars, E.T., none of those got nods as winners, even though they were excellent movies.
You know what was an excellent movie in 1977 that did not get enough full credit was Roller Coaster with a young Helen Hunt.
Roller Coaster?
That was a random aside.
The end.
This is a great list, Ziggy. We'll put this in the show notes. It's filmsite.org's best picks breakdown. This is it's a really kind of nice rundown. Thank you.
It is a really nice rundown on things that you wouldn't have thought of.
I do have sad news for all of us who love sweet confectionaries. Michel Ferrero passed away recently. At 89, he was considered to potentially be Italy's richest man. Sorry, Berlusconi. And he was the founder of the global empire that is Nutella.
Hazelnuts, bitch.
Yeah.
Which has gotten quite the internet fame recently for the poop jokes that you can do. Go into a stall with a can of Nutella, wipe a little on your hands, ask the neighbor for some toilet paper, and grab it with some Nutella on your hand, and just wipe it across his...
That's a misuse of Nutella.
Oh, boy.
That's wrong.
False start. Personal foul.
I think what was fascinating to me, and I would totally recommend people, is to read the bio on the founder, because this is business exemplar, like how he ran his operations. To the like part of like he didn't move. He had an opportunity to bring Nutella to the U.S. much earlier, But he didn't want, because he was worried about, he didn't want to directly compete with peanut butter because he didn't want to be considered and also ran to peanut butter. He was like, I want to go in there because I don't want it to just be considered another option. I want it to be considered something on its own. So he was really slow in his expansion and calculated in his expansion because he didn't want to fail, but he also didn't want to be boxed in. And which was like, that's brilliant. Most people would have been like, no, maximum capitalization now. And he's like, he thought, no, long term, I want this product to be on shelves ad infinitum. Fascinating guy. He also invented Kinder Egg, which if you ever had Kinder Egg, the chocolate egg that has like a plastic shell inside with a toy. Love those biscuits. Yeah, so anyway, it just was like, it's sad to see, 89 in passing, but Kinder Eggs, no, I've seen Kinder Eggs in the stores here. Michelle's asking if Kinder Eggs can be shipped here. I saw it in a Pakistani deli. Maybe it's illegal. Maybe you can. Apparently, you can buy. I'm not saying you should buy them on the streets because maybe it's.
They can get shipped to New York, but you have to pay taxes on it. Then it can get shipped to you. Otherwise, it's illegal.
Are you reading Truth or is that?
No, that's what they do for cigarettes.
Wikipedia says Pietro Ferrero was the original founder of and discovered Nutella.
That's his father, I believe.
Pietro
and
Ferrero.
He worked with his father.
Got it.
They invented it post-war. Working in a backyard.
Also Pietro Ferrero also created Ferrero Rocher.
Yeah.
If you know Ferrero Rochers. Right?
Oh, yeah,
Nutty, chocolatey thingy, right?
Yes.
And he also discovered one thing that we all have had. Tic Tacs.
No shit.
Oh, that's right. That he brought Tic Tacs first to the U.S. before he did Nutella.
Right. So Giovanni Ferrero is the one that just passed?
Michel Ferrero.
Michel Ferrero.
Ferrero, yeah. 89.
I wonder if Gatorade is worth more than Nutella.
As a global brand, I don't know.
I don't know. But his net worth when he passed away was $26.7 billion.
That is a lot of money.
Yep. So there you go. And then I think the last topic that we have is an asshat as our dessert. An
asshat. And he's going into the Asshat Hall of Fame because I think he's been on here at least once. So Joseph...
Wait a second. Does he have like a gold card for the 5 Timers Club?
Oh,
yeah, he gets a punch.
A black card that you can just show people.
Sepp Blatter, Joseph Sepp Blatter, the who runs the president of the FIFA, and I'm giving him the Asshat Award because, as predicted but denied by them, the World Cup in 2022 will be taking place in the winter. It'll be November and December of 2022 because they decided to award it to Qatar, which is in the damn desert.
Right.
So already people have said, we're saying this was going to happen. No. Okay, yes.
Wow.
Potentially ruins a lot of leagues because, professional leagues are playing. So it's going to totally screw up how the members of the international teams, how they have to leave their professional football team. So anyway, I'm putting Sepp Blatter firmly and fully into the Hall of Fame. I think I'll retire him now from being asshats in the future. Congratulations, sir. You have
he has a lifetime membership to the Asshat Club.
The Ring of Asshatry.
Asshatry. Should we actually make a hat that has embroidered in the names of all the asshats?
That would be pretty boss.
Wouldn't it though?
Maybe more like a Stanley Cup with
right,
names
a Stanley Cup, and then it's like
done.
a top hat that gets taller and taller as more and more names get on it, right?
Because of the lies that they use, like Pinocchio.
So I just sent you, Tom, that there is an Indochino showroom in New York that I didn't even think about, but there is one there. Maybe you should check it out for us, see what the quality is like. On Brome Street.
Thank you.
Do you know where Brome Street is?
Broom Street.
Broome Street.
It's got an E, but I believe it's pronounced Broom Street.
Broom, B-R-O.
What? So there's a shop that you can go and get your measurements
Yes.
done there.
Yes.
And then they may. Oh, nice. So you are getting that hand. Is it more expensive to like? Visit
I don't
them, or
know.
is this-
I think it just says visit one of our stores, and they'll
I'll
show
give it a spin.
their stuff.
I could use a nice suit for the spring and summer.
I need a suit for certain. If it wasn't 12 degrees there in New York, I would just travel up there just to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that puts one more illustrious and wonderful week in the books.
There's that word. I was waiting for illustrious. We didn't have it this week, but now we do.
No, I pretty much join into every single week a little bit of illustrious. Okay, so I'm sorry, my reading brain just turned on, which turns off every other brain.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We have had a wonderful and illustrious show again this week, bringing to you things that you may not have ever thought about, sharing with you things you may not have known, and espousing our opinion on the world as we see it. I would love for you to come and join us next week. Feel free to reach out and contact any one of us via Twitter or emails or whatnot. We thank you for your support, and if you'd like, you can hang out with us next week so that you can get a chance to think the way you think. Because we don't ask that you think like I think.
And I don't ask that you think like I think.
That got weird. Frank?
I don't think.
Okay. But we're going to ask that you think on your own. And if you'd like, come and join us and let's hang out.